High above the mountains of China, a dragon moves through the clouds. It has no wings, yet it can fly. It breathes no fire, yet it brings life to the land. Its body is long like a river, its eyes bright like stars, and its heart calm, ancient, and wise. Hello, dear listener. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for sharing this peaceful moment. For thousands of years, this dragon has lived not in fear, but in peace. It does not guard gold or burn villages. Instead, it brings rain to the fields, luck to the people, and harmony to the world. In Chinese culture, the dragon is not a monster. It is a teacher, a symbol of power, balance, and wisdom. It flies between heaven and earth, carrying messages of nature, energy, and life. It reminds people that strength is not only in muscles or fire, but in patience, kindness, and understanding. When the wind moves softly through bamboo leaves, some say it's the dragon passing by, smiling, watching, bringing calm to those who listen. In this story, you will walk through ancient cities and temples of China, discover old legends and golden art, meet emperors, artists, and dreamers, all touched by the spirit of the dragon. You will see how this creature shaped the Chinese world, how it became the sign of emperors, the dance of festivals, the voice of rivers, and the symbol of balance itself. This is not just a story about a myth. It's a story about life, about harmony between people and nature, and about wisdom that comes not from strength, but from peace. So take a deep breath and imagine the clouds moving slowly above you. Can you feel the dragon's energy? Calm but powerful, strong but gentle. Maybe the question is not, do dragons exist? But rather, where do we see their spirit today? Chapter 1. Birth of the Dragon. In the old times of China, people looked at the sky and saw something magical in the clouds. Sometimes the clouds moved like waves. Sometimes they shone like silver rivers in the sun. And people said, "The dragon is here." But the dragon was not only in the sky. It was in the rain that fed the rice fields. It was in the river that gave people water and life. It was in the wind that touched their faces after a long day of work. The dragon was not a monster. It was a spirit, gentle and strong, wild and peaceful at the same time. People believed that everything in nature had life inside: mountains, rivers, trees, and clouds. And the dragon was the life that moved between them all. It connected heaven and earth, rain and fire, people and nature. Some said the dragon could fly through the sky and dive into the sea. Others said it could live inside a mountain and sleep for hundreds of years. But all agreed. The dragon brought balance. When it came, rains were good, fields were green, and hearts were calm. Farmers prayed to the dragon before planting rice. Fishermen thanked the dragon before going to sea. Even children, when they played in the water, would whisper softly, "Dragon, please be kind today." The dragon was not only seen, it was felt. It lived in the sound of the rain, in the flow of the rivers, and in the quiet peace after a storm. When people looked at nature, they didn't see power to control. They saw harmony to protect. That is the true spirit of the dragon, to bring life, balance, and peace wherever it goes. And maybe the dragon still moves today, in the wind that cools your face, or in the river that never stops flowing. What do you think? Do you feel that something powerful and peaceful lives in nature too? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you feel when you see the sky after rain. Chapter 2. The Dragon and the Emperor. Long ago in ancient China, People believed the emperor was chosen by the sky. They called it the mandate of heaven. It meant that the ruler must live with wisdom, kindness, and balance, just like the dragon. The dragon was not only a creature in the clouds, it was a symbol of power, peace, and harmony. And so, the emperor became known as the dragon son of heaven. His throne was called the dragon throne. His robe was called the dragon robe. Every golden thread on his clothes showed the same message, that a true leader brings balance, not fear. In the palace, the walls were painted with dragons flying among the clouds. They watched the emperor as he made his decisions. When he ruled with kindness, people said, "The dragon smiles." When he became too proud or greedy, they said, "The dragon hides." The emperor learned that being strong does not mean being hard. It means protecting life, like the dragon protects the rain. When there was peace in the land, people believed the dragon was happy. When there were floods, wars, or hunger, they said the dragon was crying. During great festivals, the emperor prayed to the dragon for gentle rains, for full rivers, and for good harvests. He stood before the people and said, "If I am not in balance, the land will not be in balance." It was a deep lesson that leadership begins not with power, but with peace in the heart. The dragon taught the emperor that real power is not to control people, but to understand them, not to take, but to give, not to fight, but to guide. Even today, in China, the dragon still appears on art, coins, and temples. It reminds people of wisdom, not war, of rain, not fire, of harmony, not control. Maybe that's why the dragon has lived for thousands of years, because it teaches lessons no human can forget. What do you think makes a good leader? Someone who is strong, or someone who is calm and fair? Chapter 3. The Dragon and the River. In China, every river has a story. Some are long like silver snakes. Some are wide like shining mirrors under the sun. But all rivers are alive, because people believe a dragon lives inside them. They say the dragon's body is the river itself. Its head is in the mountains, its tail is in the sea, and when it moves, the water flows. When the dragon sleeps, the river is calm. When it wakes and turns in its dream, waves rise and clouds form. When it smiles, gentle rain falls over the rice fields, and when it cries, storms come. For the Chinese people, water means life. It gives food, it gives drink, it connects villages and cities. Without water, there is no life. And without the dragon, there is no water. That's why people built temples near rivers and lakes. They offered tea, flowers, or rice, and said, "Thank you, dragon, for your gift." They never wanted to fight nature. They wanted to live with it, in balance. When a river flooded, people didn't say, "The river is angry." They said, "We have forgotten to listen to the dragon." It was not punishment, but a reminder to live gently, to respect the land, to care for the water. Children learned this from their parents. Take only what you need. Be kind to the river, and the dragon will protect you. Even today, when rain falls softly on the roofs, many people still feel something ancient in the sound. It's like the dragon is whispering, "I am still here." And maybe it is. Maybe every drop of rain is a small breath of the dragon. Maybe every river is its heartbeat. When you stand near water, close your eyes for a moment. Can you feel its quiet power? Its calm movement that never stops? What do you feel when you watch a river or the rain? Does it make you peaceful? Or do you feel the strength behind its calm? Tell me in the comments, because maybe The dragon lives in what you feel, too. Chapter 4. The Dragon Dance. Every year, when the Lunar New Year begins, the streets of China come alive. There is music, color, fire, and laughter. Children hold red lanterns, drums echo through the air, and people wait for the moment when the dragon begins to dance. The dragon dance is one of the oldest and happiest traditions in China. It is not just a show. It is a prayer for rain, for luck, for life. The dragon's body is made of cloth, wood, and light. It moves like a river through the crowd, shining gold and red, twisting, turning, rising to the sky. Dozens of dancers hold long poles under the dragon's body. They move together, every step, every turn. If one dancer moves too fast or too slow, the dragon loses its shape. So everyone must move as one, breathing and dancing in the same rhythm. That is the beauty of the dragon dance. It teaches unity. When people move together, they become stronger than they are alone. Just like the dragon, they find balance in harmony. The music grows louder. Drums beat like thunder, and the dragon dances higher and higher, as if touching the sky. People smile, clap, and cheer. They say the louder the drums are, the more the dragon enjoys the dance, and the more luck he brings to the village. Children laugh, old people bow with hands together, and the whole town feels alive again. It's not only a celebration, it's a way to remember the spirit of the dragon. Joy, life, and connection. When the dance ends, the dragon bows deeply to the people, and the crowd bows back. It is a moment of respect between humans and the dragon, between the earth and the sky. The dragon dance reminds everyone that happiness grows when we move together, when we share rhythm, laughter, and peace. If you saw the dragon dance, what would you feel? Would you dance with the dragon? Or just watch and listen to the drums? Because maybe, somewhere deep inside, your heart already knows the rhythm of the dragon. Chapter 5. The Dragon and the Elements. In Chinese culture, everything in the world is connected. The sky, the water, the wind, the trees, each has its own energy. People call it qi, the life force. And the dragon, they say, carries this energy. It moves between all things, keeping the balance of nature. The old masters believed that the world was made of 5 elements: water, fire, wood, earth, metal. Each one has its own spirit, and the dragon is the bridge between them all. When it moves in the sky, it brings wind, that is air. When it dives into the sea, it becomes water. When it rests on the mountain, it becomes earth. When lightning flashes, its eyes are fire. And when thunder rolls across the sky, its voice is metal. The dragon is not just one thing. It is everything. That's why it can fly without wings, swim without fins, and move without sound. It is the balance of all elements, the perfect harmony of nature. Ancient philosophers said, "When the elements fight, the world shakes. When the dragon sleeps, the world rests." So people learned from the dragon to live not in extremes, but in balance. Too much fire burns, too much water floods, too much wind destroys, but together they create life. In Chinese gardens, temples, and paintings, you can see this idea everywhere. A soft stream next to a mountain, firelight near calm stone, bamboo trees dancing with the wind. Each one is part of the same story, the story of the dragon's balance. The dragon teaches that peace is not the end of movement, but movement in harmony. What do you think gives balance to your own life? Is it nature, music, love, or something else? Because maybe that balance is your dragon. Chapter 6. The Dragon and the Emperor's Dream. Long ago, there was an emperor who ruled a great land. He had gold, soldiers, and power. But in his heart, he felt something missing: peace. Every day he worked, every night he worried. He tried to control everything: the people, the weather, even time itself. But nothing felt right. One night, he went to sleep and had a dream. He was standing on a high mountain. The wind was cold, the clouds were dark, and then the sky opened. A dragon appeared. It was huge, shining, and quiet. Its eyes were like two small suns. Its voice was deep and calm. "Why do you fight so much?" the dragon asked. The emperor bowed and said, "Because I must be strong. I must protect my people." The dragon smiled. "Strength is not control. Strength is balance." The emperor looked down at the land below. He saw rivers that were too dry, villages that were too poor, and people who worked too hard. He felt sadness. "Help me," he said. "I don't know how to fix this." The dragon's tail moved slowly through the clouds. It touched the mountains, the rivers, the fields. "Listen to them," said the dragon. "They already know what they need. You only have to listen." And then the dragon flew away. The sky turned blue. The emperor woke up, and for the first time in many years, his heart felt calm. From that day, he changed the way he ruled. He listened more. He spoke less. He walked through villages, talked with farmers, and watched the rivers flow. People said, "The emperor has met the dragon." And the land became peaceful again. The dream was not just a dream. It was a message that peace begins when we stop trying to control everything and start to listen. What about you? When do you feel peace? When you try harder? Or when you simply breathe and let go? Chapter 7. The Dragon in Art and Symbols. In China, the dragon is not just a story. It is everywhere. On old buildings, on silk, on coins, even in the way clouds are painted. Artists have painted dragons for more than 2,000 years. Each dragon is different. Some fly high in gold skies. Some sleep under blue waves. Some smile with kind eyes. When a painter draws a dragon, it is not only about beauty. It is about energy, the qi, the life inside everything. In old temples, dragons climb up the roofs. Their bodies curve with the shape of the tiles. They look like they are moving with the wind, watching the sky, protecting the people inside. In calligraphy, the art of writing, the dragon is hidden in the brush strokes. A strong line for the tail, a soft one for the breath, a bright point for the eye. Each movement must be calm and full of life. When artists draw the dragon, they must feel peace inside. If their mind is full of noise, the dragon will not appear. But when their heart is quiet, the dragon comes. Through the brush, through the ink, through the breath. The dragon also lives in everyday things. In patterns on clothes, on bowls and vases, in the shape of bridges or garden stones. It reminds people of balance, protection, and hope. Even today, many Chinese families keep a dragon picture at home. Not for fear, but for harmony. It is a quiet reminder. Be strong, but gentle. Be proud, but kind. Art keeps the dragon alive, not in the sky, but in the hearts and hands of people. If you could paint your own dragon, what would it look like? Would it be blue and calm like the sea, or golden and bright like the sun? Tell me in the comments. Chapter 8. The Dragon and the Festivals. Every summer in China, something beautiful happens. On the rivers, long and colorful boats appear. Each boat looks like a dragon, with a painted head, a golden body, and a strong tail. People sit inside the boats, holding paddles in their hands. They wear red shirts, and they move together, like one big heartbeat. This is the Dragon Boat Festival, one of the most famous celebrations in China. It happens every year in the 5th month of the Chinese calendar. But the festival is not only about the race, it is about memory. It remembers a poet, Ku Yuan, who loved his country deeply. Long ago, when Ku Yuan saw his land fall into sadness, he jumped into the river with a broken heart. The people who loved him rowed their boats to find him, and threw rice into the water so the fish would not touch his body. That is why, even today, people eat zongzi, rice wrapped in bamboo leaves, sweet or salty, as a sign of respect and love. During the festival, you can hear drums echoing across the water. Boom! 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 The rhythm is strong, and the crowd shouts with joy. The dragon boats move fast, their heads rise and fall with the waves, and for a moment, it feels like the dragons are alive again. But behind all the noise, there is something gentle. A lesson about unity. People must paddle together at the same rhythm to move forward. If one person goes too fast or too slow, the boat stops. So, the dragon teaches something very human. Strength comes from harmony. And when the sun sets after the race, the water shines with orange light and the dragon rests once more. The Dragon Boat Festival is not only a race, it is a song of love, teamwork, and memory. If you could join a dragon boat team, what would your role be? Would you be the drummer, the leader, or the one who quietly keeps the rhythm? Share your answer in the comments, because every team needs its dragon spirit. Chapter 9. The Dragon in Modern China. Today, when you walk through the streets of China, you can still see the dragon, not flying in the clouds, but living in the hearts of the people. You can find it on buildings, in red lanterns, on clothes during the New Year, and even in sports and movies. The dragon has become a proud symbol of the Chinese nation. It is not only a creature of myth, it is a sign of strength, unity, and hope. Many Chinese people say, "We are the descendants of the dragon." It means they believe in energy, courage, and wisdom, not in fighting, but in growing together as a strong and peaceful country. In the past, emperors used the dragon as their personal sign. But today, every person can carry that spirit, not to rule others, but to improve themselves, to protect their family, to follow their dreams. When China builds a new bridge, launches a space rocket, or celebrates a victory in sports, many people say, "The dragon has risen again." It's not about fantasy. It's about pride, the kind that comes from history, tradition, and hard work. Even Chinese children learn about the dragon in school. They draw it with bright colors, red for luck, yellow for power, blue for peace. And in their stories, the dragon always smiles, never angry, never cruel. It watches over people, just like the mountains and rivers do. So, when you see a dragon dance during the Chinese New Year, remember, it's not just a show. It's a promise. A promise that even in the modern world, ancient wisdom still breathes. If you had to describe your own inner dragon, what would it be like? Calm and wise? Fast and full of energy? Or peaceful and gentle, like a river? Chapter 10. The Spirit of the Dragon. The wind moves softly over the rivers of China. The mountains stand tall and quiet. And somewhere above the clouds, the spirit of the dragon still moves. Slow, strong, and free. It is not a creature you can touch. You cannot catch it or see it in a cage. Because the dragon is not made of scales or fire, it is made of values, of kindness, of balance. The dragon lives in every act of peace, in every person who listens before they speak, in every heart that stays calm in the middle of a storm. It lives in the farmer who waits for rain with patience. It lives in the artist painting mountains with quiet focus. It lives in the child who dreams big, but stays humble. Long ago, people looked at the sky and said, "The dragon brings rain." Today, people look inside themselves and say, "The dragon brings wisdom." It teaches us that true power is not in control, but in understanding, not in fire, but in balance. When you feel angry or afraid, you can remember the dragon. Take a deep breath and let your mind become like the calm water where the dragon swims. Because maybe the dragon never left. Maybe it was always here, in us. And now, I want to ask you, where do you see your dragon in life? In your dreams? In your patience? In the way you face challenges with calm strength? Let's see how many dragons are listening today. And if you enjoyed this calm story, you can also listen to our previous episodes, Why the Cow is Sacred in India, and The Elephant in Thailand and Buddhism. Each story takes you on a peaceful journey through culture, kindness, and wisdom. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment about your favorite part, and subscribe, because next time we'll travel to another magical land, to meet the gentle Japanese deer from Nara. A story about friendship, respect, and the quiet bond between people and nature. You don't want to miss this one. See you next time, and until then, keep your heart calm and your mind open like the dragon's sky.